Stay tuned for season 4, they said. Getting back to more normal high schooly stuff, they said. Yeah, right. Greetings, Geeks, Girls. It is me, I'm back for Riverdale. Oh boy. Without further ado, let's just dive into it. Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen the episode, go watch it, then come back to know what you think in the comments down below. As almost always, our story is split into 4, with our 4 leads. For some reason, Choni was never in this episode. But anyway, they still did a lot of crap, so let's start with Archie. Because for Riverdale, in case you guys don't know, I like to go by character. Archie's thing is that he's trying to make this community center a thing, but he's also now starting to try to be a vigilante, which ain't working so well, because you know vigilantes are illegal in the real world, even though this is far from the real world. He then sets up the community center, and people are starting to make false accusations about the community center. Archie's trying to fight back. I don't think it really works, especially considering the preview for next time. Alright, so then let's talk about Veronica. Veronica is trying to do her best to make sure that her mom gets off and that her dad goes to prison. Well, she got it half right. She kind of sort of blackmails Mayor and gets her mom to be pardoned by the governor. But in doing so, her conversation with the mayor was recorded by a certain PI, and the PI used this information to get, in her words, our father off. Yes, this is the, if you guys have been paying attention to the news, infamous Omarosa Lodge. And as soon as they're walking out of the courtroom together, Hirem announces his next big plan. He's gonna run for mayor. Because of course he is. And I bet you he wins. Because he's frickin' Hirem Lodge. But that was her story. We've got Betty's story with Charles. The reason why I say Charles, because I'm not convinced that's Charles. I even in a group chat with my friends threw out the wild theory, which I will be so impressed if this is right, that Charles might be secretly Jason and Cheryl's thought to be dead triplet. Anyway, he's teaching Betty and the FBI high schooler things. Kevin's doing it in solidarity with his best buddy. Everything that he's saying is hitting a nerve with Betty, bringing up the whole serial killer gene thing again, then bringing up Caramel again. We find out that what actually happened with Caramel was that Betty did kind of sort of kill Caramel, but Caramel was already dying from being hit by a car, and it was euthanasia combined with being done by her serial killer father. You know, the actual serial killer. Betty's like, this is screwing me up. And Kevin's like, okay, this FBI stuff is getting to you. We need to back out. And so she goes to tell Charles, and Charles is like, yeah, I have the serial killer gene too. Even though that's not, like, possible at all. Who's FP and Alice's kid? It's not related to Hal in any way. This gets Betty thinking, what do we know about Charles? And why is he staying in Riverdale, even though Edgar is dead? Investigation Betty is on the case. That's cool. And then lastly, we had Jughead. These stories this week, all four were very much standalone. Like, none of them intertwined with each other. We didn't get any ship time between any of the ships. But anyway, for Jughead, it's more investigating the four. Then he finds out that his favorite book series as a kid is written by ghost authors that all use the same pen name. And of course, his favorite teacher is one of them. And the original guy who started it is apparently knows FP Senior. They went to school together. But conveniently, he forgets why he left. And FP has no clue where he is currently. Doesn't care, no, because to him, he was just his drunk father. His drunk, abusive father. But Jughead's intrigued because he's Jughead. And he ends up also signing up for this competition to be the next Ghost Rider. Even though you seriously want to get a high schooler to be a published author taking on this iconic pen name? Yeah, sure. I mean, that kind of reminds me of Aragon, which was written by a 13-year-old. But then come to find out that his rich parents had a hand in that, so it wasn't just a stroke of luck or a stroke of genius, it was also a stroke of happenstance. Not to discredit the dude. Because I hear the books are actually pretty good, unlike the movie. Anyway, so the competition is now afoot, and of course, the thing that determines it is you have to write the perfect murder. And if right on cue, it hops to the spring semester, you know, after all the flash forward stuff. And FP interrupts, I think it's chemistry class, and says that Archie, Betty, and Veronica are all under arrest. But they're not doing the subtle thing like they did in season 1, where anytime they need to ask someone or arrest someone, they were like, "Can you please come to the principal's office?" No, he just rushed into their classroom, said their full names. So I'm guessing something's off with that. Anyway, I've probably been going on for too long by now. And here, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you'll join me for Nancy Drew. That's it for now. Till next time. And beyond. For real, I thought this season was going to be more grounded. Should have realized what show we're dealing with.